Good evening, everyone. It's Dr. Shernay coming on. It's been a while since I've been on, so I'll give a couple of minutes for people to arrive and take a listen. I hope that you all are having a happy Halloween. Be safe. I hope that your children are having a good time. And all of that. So I'm just giving a couple minutes for a couple more people to come on. So since today is the end of October, I wanted to discuss a few things that were kind of important to me. The month of October is known as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For those who all have survived, who are thriving despite, and those who have passed away due to breast cancer. But many people don't know that October is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And it's important to me because I am a domestic violence survivor. And many people don't know that about me. They see the smiles, they see the jokes, the laughs, all the good stuff, but people don't really know what all is going on in someone's life unless they ask or unless that person shares. And, I thought a lot, going through my own healing journey, thought a lot about how it would be whenever I did decide to share my story and talk about things that I've gone through in different situations and, what would this person say? What would that person say? But I'm actually no longer concerned about that because if they didn't want to be part of my story, they should have behaved better. So just to start off with a few statistics, 1 in every 4 women and 1 in 7 men have experienced abuse from an intimate partner. Intimate partner violence accounts for 15% of all violent crimes, and only 34% of those that actually get injuries from these crimes seek treatment for these injuries. It's very telling. Domestic abuse it's very private, it's very intimate. I would suspect that these numbers are actually higher. These are just the numbers that are reported. Just given the nature of how domestic abuse and domestic violence works, I'm really thinking that these numbers are a lot higher. And then it does affect children. 1 out of every 15 children have been exposed to intimate partner violence, and over 90% of them actually are eyewitnesses. So the children are watching, and you may think that the things that go on behind your bedroom door are, unknown to them, and the children are none the wiser, but children are a lot smarter than you give them credit for. They see and they know all of these things. Another emotion that I had to deal with in terms of my own story was just feeling embarrassed because of who I am and, what I am. I'm this, I'm educated, I'm this. One thing about domestic violence, it doesn't matter how educated you are, what you look like, what class you are, what race you are. None of these things matter. It can happen to anyone at any time. And it's not as easy as, oh, well, if they're doing this to you, just leave. Well, newsflash, it's very dangerous to leave. I'm not exactly sure of the statistics on men, but as far as women are 70 times more likely to be killed in the weeks leading up to them leaving their partner. So this is something to consider. It's not always as simple as just get up and go. And, sometimes when you do get the courage to leave, sometimes you're literally leaving with what you have on. You have the clothes on your back, and that's it. You don't have time to pack. You don't have time to plan. You just have to go. When you seize your moment, you have to go. So, it's just people tend to, minimize what the effects of this is. And that is never ever helpful for anyone that's in this particular situation. There's a whole cycle of abuse. Things happen, and then there's this honeymoon phase where they're oh so sorry and they'll never do it again, and this, that, there, and a third, and you really do buy into it. But there's a whole psychology behind abuse. And abusers, they are very, very good at manipulation. And they're very good at gaslighting you. They'll have you believing that you didn't see what you saw, you didn't hear what you heard, you didn't feel what you felt, you didn't go through. Like, they are masters at making you think that you are crazy. Okay, and it's not like that. So to talk about different types of abuse, because abuse is more than just physical. Everyone tends to focus on the physical abuse, but there are other abuses that go hand in hand or go alongside. Sometimes it's, oh, well, he never put his hands on me, she never put her hands on me. Yeah, but she's doing or he's doing all of these things. So one type of abuse is control. You have to constantly check in with this person. They're going out, they're checking the odometer on your car. You have no freedom of choices, like, how you wear your hair, what clothes you wear, what you eat, when you eat. Like, this person is literally controlling your whole life. They're invading your privacy. I've gone through, as I mentioned before, I had 2 relationships. They were back to back, where I had to deal with, domestic violence. And one of those, he was very controlling. He would go through my emails and go through my messages. And he tells me this later, that he went through my things, especially in the early part of us dating, but then gets mad at me because I'm like, why are you in my personal space? Like, that has nothing to do with you, especially the things that happened before I even met you. So why are you in my personal space? I don't like that. And then that was an argument. So, they'll you can't talk on the telephone. Again, I was on the phone. I'd be trying to talk to my best friend, and we're on the phone, and he's in the room. So I get up, go to another room. He gets up and follows me into another room. So I'm in the other room, and then I leave that room to go to another. He follows me to that room. So it's literally like there is no privacy. You have none of your own privacy, none of your own space to just be who you are. And of course, we discussed physical. There's also sexual abuse. So using any type of force, coercion, guilt, or manipulation, not considering whether or not you even want to have sex. Or it can include withholding sex. And it also includes using drugs or alcohol to put you into this chemically induced state to lower your inhibitions, and you can't make conscious decisions. Like, you literally cannot make decisions when you are, inebriated. You just can't. I would also like to add that this does include spousal rape, which a lot of people don't talk about, but it is possible for your spouse to rape you. Like, no means no. You have control and autonomy of your body at all times. And if you don't want to do it, but they literally force you into doing it, that is rape. So, if you are in this situation, please understand that you are being raped. There's also emotional abuse and intimidation, which is any behavior that exploits your vulnerability, insecurity, or your character. So things like being, insulted, degradation, intimidation, manipulation, brainwashing, the control that I spoke of earlier, all of these things are part of emotional abuse. Isolation. A lot of abusers thrive on isolating you. So basically, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's separating you from everyone who knows and loves you, because this makes you an easier target to abuse. So, because with this, you have no outside influences, so you're easier to control and to manipulate. Verbal abuse. So, coercion, threats, blame, any abusive language that is used to denigrate you or embarrass you or threaten you. And then economic abuse, which is also not really talked about, but it definitely should be. The abuser may be the one who's controlling the family income, and so you can't access the money, or you have very limited access to it. So they're keeping hidden accounts, or making you work, but they're making you hand over your paycheck as soon as you get it, and you may or may not get an allowance. Or they could cause you to lose your job by constantly making you late, or refusing to provide transportation for you, or calling and harassing you all day on your job. And I would also argue to add that this could work in the flip. So say if you are the one who is the provider, and you're the one who's doing all of these things, but they're refusing to help you, and everything falls on you, like, that's a form of abuse in itself to me. So here are a few ways to know that if you're in an abusive relationship, these are a few signs that you need to be considering making an exit, okay? If your partner has hit you, beat you, strangled you, if they push you, yes, pushing, that physical pushing, that's not, things that aren't pleasurable to you that your partner can do to you, that it's abusive. Look to get out. If they're possessive, they're constantly checking up on you, wondering where you are, getting mad at you for hanging out with certain people, or getting mad at you if you don't do exactly what they say when they say it. Another sign is that your partner is jealous. Now, a small amount of jealousy is normal. It's normal. That's a normal human nature. But if they're accusing you, of being unfaithful, or isolating you from your family members, from your friends, jealous of attention that you're getting from people you don't even know, that's a red flag. If your partner puts you down, so they're attacking your intelligence, your looks, your mental health, your capabilities, and then they turn around and blame you for all their violent outbursts, or tell you no one else is going to want you if you leave them. That's another one of those manipulative tactics that they use to try to keep you in that position. Your partner threatens you or your family. Or if your partner physically and sexually abuses you, like I said earlier, if they ever push you, shove you, hit you, make you have sex with them when you don't want to, they are abusing you. And it doesn't have to happen all the time, every day. Once is enough. So in light of this, tonight I have 3 candles. I'm not sure if you can see them, but I have 3 candles. 2 white candles, 1 purple candle. The color for domestic violence is purple. If you didn't know, so now you know. And I like these 3 candles to represent 3 things. 1 is to remember those who have been victims of domestic violence and are no longer with us. I like 1 to celebrate those who have survived domestic abuse and are thriving in spite and despite what they've been through. And I light my 3rd candle as a reminder to do all the work to end the cycle of domestic abuse. And if you are someone who is being abused, or you know someone, please reach out. There is help. You can reach the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The website for that is www.thehotline.org, or, sometimes, you can leave fingerprints online, and if you're in danger or scared that you're being traced or followed, you can call the number, which is 1-800-799-SAFE. And the numbers for SAFE are 7233. And you can reach out and get help that way, because this is not a situation that you need to stay in. I'll tell anybody on any day that there is no relationship out there that's worth my peace of mind nor my happiness. And if I'm in a relationship moving forward that would ever threaten either of those, it's time to go. Of course, I'm single now, but I am dating, and there are certain things I just will not tolerate. I don't tolerate, men who are aggressive towards me, raising their voices at me, using certain language. If it's fine if we're just chit chatting and we're laughing, but if you're talking to me and you're using threatening language towards me, I don't deal with that. Don't try to take items from me, like my phone, anything I'm holding, my glasses, things that'll make me incapable of doing what I need to do. Don't try to block me from leaving. If I want to leave, allow me to leave. Um, it's a lot of things that, I no longer tolerate being the healed version of myself versus the person that I was back in the day. So that's all I have for now. I did want to make a video to recognize domestic violence awareness and to celebrate those of you who may have gone through. I applaud you. I'm grateful that you were able to get away. For those who may be in this situation, I hope that this inspires you to reach out to someone to find help, to come out and help you get out of that situation, especially if there are children involved, because that creates another generation that is traumatized by this, and they don't need to see it. You don't need to live it. There is so much more of a better life out there for you than being with someone who's going to hurt or harm you. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed evening. Remember to practice your self-care, and I'll catch you all in the next one.